Good morning, everyone. I hope everybody is doing well. We'll try to pull up some messages and see what is the universe trying to deliver. Okay. Let me try to adjust this. Hit the center. Okay. Interesting. I'm speaking to a group of people today who are undergoing a state of or a stage of isolation. Now, there are a few situations here. Um, I'll be speaking to a group of people, so take that as it resonates with your situation. But the first group that I see is undergoing a massive transformation, and this transformation could be because of spiritual awakening, which is or which could be happening within them. You could be doing some sadhana, you could be doing meditation work, you could be doing kriya work, kundalini work, and you could be associated with some or the other occult fields, occult sciences. You could be a tarot reader as well. You could do astrology, you could do healing as well. And because when we associate ourselves with these practices, then naturally the first thing that we do is that we heal ourselves. We ensure that the energy levels are always on the positive side or on the pure, um, or on the higher side, I would say. Because when you have to heal someone, then you share a part of your energy with them, and that energy does the magic or does the healing. So if you have to heal someone, if you have to share a part of your energy with someone, then it is obvious that you are filled within yourself before you could heal someone, right? That's the announcement that we hear when we own board flights most of the times. That before you help someone, make sure that you help yourself. So this isolation is um, worrisome as well as uncomfortable because Humans are made in a way that this samsara is in itself is a concept of duality. And when we say duality, then it means that anything which is not one, anything which does not resonate with the concept of oneness falls in this arena of duality. And because duality equals samsara, and now if somebody is left isolated, or if somebody has to live in an isolation for some time, or maybe for longer periods of time, as I'm seeing here, uh, you would actually feel uncomfortable, because that's not the design of the life in samsara is. Samsara is a concept of duality in itself, which means that samsara cannot exist if it's isolated, if it's non dual. And because transformation happens when God wants us to connect with the ultimate source, God wants us to be one with the super consciousness. And when this happens, then the samsara has to dissolve, the samsara has to go off. And when this situation will happen, then definitely mind will try to play tricks, because mind has created the samsara, thoughts has created the samsara. So when mind sees that the consciousness is acting against it, and now the the air castles that this mind created once are going to shatter off now, is when the the feelings of loneliness, the feelings of isolation, the feelings of uncomfortable feeling will come into play, which is what is happening to you right now, which is why it could be bothering you. For the other group of people, I'm seeing somebody broke up with you, a relationship fell apart, and this is causing you to go in a period of isolation, because you do not want to engage with people, you do not want to make more connections at this stage. Because at some stage, when you really wanted to get the best of life, and you had plans to live a certain life with certain group of people, and now those people have left off, or maybe threw you out to the wolves because of lack of resources. I'm seeing resourcefulness is at the bottom of this. So what's happening particularly here for you is that you could be running through a financial hardship. You could be running through financial crunch at this stage, at this state of life. You could be running out of money, and because the resources, you are trying to be resourceful, you are trying to gather the resources, but at this very stage when we speak, you lack resources, especially you lack finances, you have run out of finances. And this is the reason that people have left you, people have isolated you, the connections broke, the relationships fell apart, and this is getting pretty uncomfortable, as you could see looking at the face of this man. It is a feeling of being isolated in the woods, being isolated in a cold winter night with no resources or no fire around. How would that feeling be? You could just imagine that. Nobody would actually want to go through that feeling. However, you are going through that feeling, that pain and agony at this stage, which is why it's pretty difficult. However, um, the good thing is that most of you are applying for new jobs, applying for new employment opportunities. I'm seeing that you may receive a call, message, an email. You may have appeared in some interviews already, and you are looking for an opportunity which can pay you off, which can pay you well, and where you could actually gather those resources, put your life back up, and you could actually come out of this period of isolation. That's the intent right now, and which is why you are taking your best foot forward. That's why you are running around and you are applying for more and more jobs, more and more opportunities. You need work, and you are making sure that you reach all avenues to get that work, which can pay you off. There are some physical ailments. Um, some of you are either sick, maybe hospitalized, or somebody in your family could be hospitalized. I'm feeling that the present state is that you may have undergone an accident, maybe a bike accident, a road accident, and which made you feel crippled. Uh, in most cases, I'm seeing that a fracture could happen, or the fracture already happened. You could be undergoing that plaster, and probably next couple of months, next 2 to 3 months of bed rest because of that fracture and plaster. You you cannot move, you cannot do the work either. I'm seeing that most probably the fracture could be in the upper part, in the upper body part. So probably, most probably, one of your arms could be fractured, one of your hands, or maybe some crucial fingers or thumb. That's what I'm seeing. And the other group is there who are undergoing some sickness or disease. You could be undergoing some medical tests as well. And because of this situation as well, the connections um, have broken, the connections have left you. There could be some connections who you cherished a lot and whom you supported during their difficult times. And at this stage, how you're feeling is that because you needed people the most, you needed those connections the most to support you so that you could recover. But the universe has some other plans. The universe is isolating you and during these stages of agony, pain, and disappointment because the universe wants you to realize the true strength that lies deep inside you, and that you do not require, or you do not need anybody to feel worthy of. Because most of the times, what we do is that we seek validation from the people around us, the people whom we really have high regards for and whom we really trust. We we seek for their constant validation because that validation gives us a sense of achievement, gives us a sense of security and safety, and probably sometimes it boosts our ego, and that's how the mind plays. However, the universe here wants you to isolate and realize your own true power, because when you heal yourself out of this situation alone, without any external support, without the support and motivation of the people, without any validation, if you do that, there is a position of authority waiting for you. I did mention that some of you may be appearing in job interviews. So the message or the good thing for you is that, let's say that you appeared in a panel interview, then most of the panel is going to make that decision in your favor. So you could expect a job coming in your favor, and it's going to be a massive opportunity, probably an opportunity of a lifetime. You could be filling in the big shoes. You could be stepping into probably a leadership role, maybe head of a function or head of the department in an organization. So that message is incoming. And for the other group, after the transformation, God and the universe is preparing you to fill these shoes, because in some months or in some years you are going to be in a position of leadership where you would be leading and guiding masses. You would be narrating your story and how the situations led you to being isolated. You would be explaining that pain and agony that you felt and went through. You will explain all the lack of resources and how you try to manage your day-to-day life with those lack of resources. And then you would be leading and guiding people so that the people who um, would be going through these situations in their lifetimes, you could actually guide them based on your own experiences. And this experience resonates with the experience of a healer as well. A true healer goes through all these stages of crisis, pain, and transformation, deep level of transformation. And only when they experience these difficulties themselves, they do realize the um, importance of resources in their lives. They also realize their own true strength, and they also know and they could resonate that how being in an isolated environment feels like, and how to come out of those situations, how to find your strength, how to regain your strength. And which is why a true healer could heal people or could heal masses only because he or she has healed himself. He or she has healed herself. And only because you have demonstrated that to the universe rewards you with those positions of authority so that you could now lead and guide people out of their difficult situations, because you didn't have anybody to support you. Now the universe prepares you so that you could become somebody else's support, and then set an example that this is how the ideal world, or this is how um, a true messenger of God, or this is how an actual human who is sensitive to the lives of the people around them should behave. That's the message here. I'll see if there is anything from tarot. There is a card, Page of Swords. There are some people in your lives who left you, and now they are looking back and trying to find out, or maybe trying to sneak through your life, trying to sneak through your social media and find out how you must be feeling or how you must be doing, how you're holding up in that situation. So I would say, if you have not done already, go ahead and block them and make sure that you secure your social media. You do not accept all the invitations or requests randomly. You do check and then see, accept or reject based on whom you know already, because that's what they are trying to do. Yes. So this is a confirmation now. If you have already appeared for some jobs and interviews, then you are going to get that role, you are going to get that position, and it's a powerful position. It's a position of authority, a leadership role, and it's a gift from the universe for all the pain and bearing that you have gone through and you are still going through. That's the reward from the universe. I'll see guidance from the universe before we close this. All right, we have the new moon. A cycle is completing. That's the first message that I heard right after seeing this card. And the other thing is, new moon also suggests um, beginnings of new opportunities, beginning of new cycles. So this again resonates with this opportunity that is coming and coming in your life, falling in your lap from the universe, because it's divinely orchestrated. With this card, there is another message that I'm feeling or hearing, is that this new moon, when this comes, uh, I think 7, 8 days probably. But you could check the calendar, Google. The new moon, which is coming next, you could do a ritual, you could consult a healer and do a cleansing session. That's the first guidance for you, because of extreme negativity in this situation, or extreme negativity in your environment which is happening. Um, if that's not the facility, if that's not the route that you want to go through, then take a pinch of salt, rock salt, sea salt, and rotate that anti-clockwise around your head 7 times, and then flush it, dispose that off. That's the other thing that could actually give you some sort of relief. But I would again recommend that you consult a healer, take a session, and then you would be all set to ward away, to ward off this negativity. That's the other thing. During the new moon days, during the new moon nights, ensure that you do not step out unnecessarily. If it's an emergency, that's a different case. However, during the new moon nights, make sure that you stay indoors and you do the mantra chanting. I'll give you the mantra now. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivji Sada Sahai. Om Namah Shivaya, Guruji Sada Sahai. You could do the chanting, and during the day, during the new moon nights, there is a Devi mantra that you need to chant, and this mantra goes like this: Om Aing Hreem Kling Chamandai Vichai. This is a mantra which should be chanted to seek full potential and full benefits of this mantra. Ensure that you do it after 9 o'clock. So especially during the night times, and which is why this is important that you do it, especially on the uh, new moon night, Amavasya. This is also called as Amavasya. And yes, a final message is that a new cycle is opening up for you because the old cycle is clearing off now. So make good use of that. Ensure that you follow through all the lessons that you have learned along the way, and you utilize those lessons for the welfare of the mankind and humanity. Um, do not fall trap to the Maya, because Maya would always attract, and Maya would always take us away from the ultimate truth or the ultimate goal, which is to realize the truth, which is to see God and to be in unison with the super consciousness. So always remember that and always utilize these experiences for the welfare of the mankind now, because that's why you have been put through all these difficult situations to prepare you for this leadership role. With that said, we could close this. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that it does resonate with you, and if it does, do like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in your next reading. Until then, you stay safe. Jai Guruji, Jai Ma Kali.